The Amazon rainforest was long believed to be an untouched wilderness, too remote, too hostile for great civilizations to thrive. Explorers searched for lost cities hidden beneath the jungle, but their expeditions ended in failure. The legends of El Dorado and the city of Z were dismissed as fantasies, and mainstream historians believed the Amazon had only ever been home to scattered, small-scale societies. But what if I told you that everything we thought we knew about the Amazon was wrong? Thanks to cutting-edge technology, archaeologists are uncovering something astonishing. Evidence of vast, sophisticated civilizations that once flourished in the rainforest. LiDAR scans have revealed sprawling cities, colossal earthworks, and networks of roads and canals, signs of a lost world that was far more advanced than anyone ever imagined. Even more mind-blowing, some scientists now believe that the Amazon rainforest itself may have been shaped by these ancient people. Welcome to Armchair Archaeology, where we explore the hidden past, one discovery at a time. Today, we're unraveling the secrets of the lost Amazonian civilizations, who they were, how they lived, and why they vanished. And stay with us until the end, because we'll reveal one of the most astonishing discoveries yet. Evidence suggesting that the Amazon, often seen as Earth's last untouched wilderness, may actually be the largest human-modified landscape in history. Before we dive in, if you love uncovering history's hidden secrets, give this video a like. It helps more curious minds find these discoveries. For much of history, the Amazon was thought to be a land of scattered nomadic tribes, incapable of supporting large civilizations. The dense rainforest, poor soil, and extreme climate were seen as barriers to urban development. But now, thanks to LiDAR technology, we know this assumption was completely wrong. Beneath the jungle canopy, archaeologists have discovered vast, interconnected cities, proving that the Amazon was once home to millions of people. LiDAR, a revolutionary laser scanning method, allows researchers to see through dense vegetation by bouncing pulses of light off the ground. Think of it like an X-ray for the jungle, peeling away the dense green canopy to reveal what's hidden underneath. What they found was astonishing. Geometric earthworks, complex road systems, and massive settlements covering thousands of square kilometers. Some of these lost cities, dating back over 1,000 years, were carefully planned, with wide avenues, defensive walls, and irrigation systems, hallmarks of an advanced society. One of the most incredible discoveries was made in the Upper Jingu region of Brazil, where researchers found a vast network of villages arranged in a pattern resembling a celestial constellation. These settlements were linked by perfectly straight roads, stretching for kilometers through the dense jungle. Some researchers believe their layouts may have been influenced by astronomical alignments, showing a sophisticated understanding of the cosmos. Even more remarkably, many of these cities had complex water management systems, including artificial canals and reservoirs, allowing their inhabitants to thrive in an environment modern agriculture struggles to tame. Scholars once assumed the Amazon was too hostile for civilization, but these discoveries prove that, far from being an untouched wilderness, the Amazon was an engineered landscape, one of the greatest lost worlds in human history. And we're only beginning to uncover its secrets. The idea of lost cities hidden deep in the Amazon isn't new. Explorers were captivated by stories of a mysterious civilization, a grand metropolis buried beneath the jungle. Picture the dense Amazon jungle, humid air, thick with the scent of damp earth, vines twisting like ancient ropes, the buzzing of unseen insects all around. This was the world of Percy Fawcett, a British explorer who vanished in 1925 while searching for what he called the city of Z. Many dismissed his claims as fantasy, but recent discoveries suggest he may have been closer to the truth than anyone imagined. Fawcett believed that deep within the Amazon lay the ruins of an advanced, pre-Columbian civilization. He described it as a place of monumental architecture, grand plazas, and vast road networks, unlike anything known in the region at the time. His disappearance only fueled the legend, inspiring books, movies, and countless expeditions in search of Z. But here's where things get truly astonishing. Archaeologists have now uncovered massive urban centers in the very regions Fawcett believed Z existed. Using LiDAR, researchers found vast, interconnected settlements, some with geometric layouts that matched descriptions from Fawcett's final letters. These sites feature circular plazas, straight causeways cutting through dense jungle, and defensive earthworks, all signs of an organized, highly structured society. Even more intriguing, indigenous oral histories speak of ancestors who built great cities before vanishing into the forest, possibly due to disease or conquest. Could Fawcett's city of Zed have been one of these lost settlements? We may never know exactly what he found, or if he found anything at all, but one thing is now certain: the civilizations he imagined were real. They were simply hidden, waiting for technology to reveal their long-buried secrets. If you're fascinated by lost civilizations, my new ebook, Secrets of the Ancient World, takes you deeper into other mysterious cultures, like the Indus Valley, Minoans, and the lost cities of Atlantis and Dwarka. You'll find the link in the pinned comment. But uncovering vast cities beneath the jungle is only part of the mystery. To truly understand them, we need to ask, who were the people who built these lost civilizations? Now that we know these ancient cities existed, the next question is, who built them? Could the key to their history still be found in the traditions of the Amazon's indigenous peoples? Unlike the Inca or Maya, the great civilizations of the Amazon left behind no towering stone temples or written records, but their descendants may still hold the key to unlocking their history. Archaeologists believe these lost builders were the ancestors of many indigenous groups that still inhabit the rainforest today. One of the most studied is the Kwikuro people of the Upper Xingu, whose villages bear striking similarities to the recently uncovered ancient cities. Their settlement layouts, defensive ditches, and agricultural techniques resemble those found in LiDAR scans, suggesting a cultural continuity stretching back thousands of years. Their oral traditions even speak of a time when their ancestors lived in great cities before being scattered by disaster. These civilizations were far more complex than once believed. They had elaborate social hierarchies, skilled artisans, and extensive trade networks. Unlike the stereotype of small, isolated tribes, they built large urban centers and maintained contact with distant cultures. Some Amazonian groups even traded with the Andes and the Caribbean, exchanging goods like ceramics, feathers, and medicinal plants over vast distances. But perhaps the most astonishing revelation is that these civilizations may have helped shape the Amazon itself. Researchers now believe that much of the rainforest's biodiversity is not entirely natural. Many of its most useful plants, including fruit-bearing trees, medicinal herbs, and staple crops, were selectively cultivated by ancient Amazonians. If true, this means the Amazon isn't just a wild jungle, it's a vast human-influenced ecosystem, a living monument to the ingenuity of its lost civilizations. When we think of ancient cities, we often picture towering stone pyramids or massive fortresses. But the lost civilizations of the Amazon built something entirely different. Monumental earthworks, vast structures carved into the landscape with astonishing precision. These geometric formations, some over 1,000 years old, include plazas, causeways, defensive walls, and intricate enclosures, revealing a level of engineering once thought impossible in the rainforest. One of the most stunning examples is found in Acre, Brazil, where researchers have discovered hundreds of enormous geometric geoglyphs, including circles, squares, and hexagons. Some are over 300 meters across, carefully shaped into the earth with almost perfect symmetry, but their purpose remains a mystery. Were they ceremonial sites, defensive fortifications, astronomical observatories? Some align with solstices and equinoxes, much like Stonehenge, suggesting they may have been used to track celestial events. Further south, in Bolivia's Llanos de Mojos, archaeologists uncovered an elaborate system of raised fields, artificial canals, and mounds, transforming the swampy lowlands into highly productive farmland. This human-engineered landscape suggests that Amazonian societies didn't just survive in their environment, they controlled it, modifying the terrain to suit their needs. Even more astonishing, many of these earthworks are connected by ancient roads so precisely built that some rival Roman roads in their construction. Straight causeways, some stretching for kilometers through dense jungle, show that these societies had not only advanced engineering skills, but also a vision for large-scale urban planning. For centuries, the Amazon was seen as a place where civilization couldn't flourish. But these earthworks prove otherwise. This was a land of complex societies, skilled engineers, and thriving cultures whose knowledge of the land was far beyond what we ever imagined. And if you love discovering history's biggest revelations, make sure to subscribe for more incredible stories every week. For a long time, the image of pre-Columbian Amazonians was that of small, peaceful tribes living in isolation. But new discoveries tell a different story, one of warfare, strategic alliances, and vast trade networks that connected distant parts of South America. Archaeologists have uncovered evidence of fortified settlements, some surrounded by massive defensive ditches over 10 feet deep and stretching for kilometers. In the Upper Xingu, entire cities were arranged in strategic formations, possibly designed to protect key resources like water, farmland, and trade routes. These defenses suggest that warfare was a significant part of life, with city-states vying for dominance. Some scholars even believe that larger polities, similar to the warring city-states of Mesoamerica, may have formed in the Amazon, engaging in territorial disputes and military campaigns. Yet, despite these conflicts, Amazonian civilizations were deeply connected through trade. Excavations reveal that goods like ceramics, exotic feathers, medicinal plants, and even metals were transported over vast distances. Materials like obsidian and precious stones from the Andes suggest long-distance exchanges with highland cultures. This challenges the outdated idea that the Amazon was a cultural backwater. These societies were part of a massive, interconnected world. One of the most surprising discoveries is the presence of metal artifacts in Amazonian sites. Since there's no evidence of large-scale metal production in the rainforest, this suggests that ancient Amazonians imported metal goods from distant cultures, possibly from the Andes or even the Caribbean. Some scholars believe these rare objects were controlled by elites, reinforcing their power through access to exotic materials. These findings reveal a dynamic, competitive, and sophisticated world where cities rose, wars were fought, and commerce thrived long before Europeans arrived. Far from being isolated jungle dwellers, the ancient people of the Amazon were part of a complex and thriving civilization. European explorers spent generations obsessed with the legend of El Dorado, a hidden city of unimaginable wealth. Many dismissed it as fantasy. But what if the myth was rooted in real, thriving civilizations that once flourished in the Amazon? The legend of El Dorado began with Spanish conquistadors, who heard stories from indigenous peoples about a golden kingdom led by a ruler so rich he covered himself in gold dust and bathed in a sacred lake. This tale, likely inspired by the Muisca rituals at Lake Guatavita in Colombia, fueled centuries of expeditions. Explorers like Francisco de Orellana ventured deep into the Amazon, convinced that great cities lay just beyond the next river bend. Most returned empty-handed, or not at all. But what if they simply missed the evidence? Modern archaeology suggests that these explorers may have come dangerously close to real lost cities. The vast urban networks revealed by LiDAR scans match early European descriptions of large settlements, bustling markets, and extensive roadways. Even more compelling, some ancient Amazonian cities feature circular layouts and monumental plazas, resembling the Spanish accounts of El Dorado's golden metropolis. The connection doesn't stop there. The Amazon's advanced societies may have engaged in long-distance trade, meaning the gold-rich cultures of the Andes and the civilizations of the rainforest were not as separate as once thought. While no single golden city has ever been found, archaeologists now believe that El Dorado may not have been a single place, but rather a misinterpretation of multiple flourishing Amazonian civilizations. The Spanish were searching for gold, but the real treasure, the incredible civilizations of the Amazon, went unnoticed. Now, centuries later, we are finally uncovering what they never could. The Amazon is one of the most biodiverse places on Earth, yet its soil is surprisingly poor and nutrient deficient. In most of the rainforest, heavy rains wash away essential nutrients, making large-scale farming nearly impossible. So how did ancient civilizations sustain millions of people in such an environment? The answer lies in one of the Amazon's greatest mysteries, Terra Preta, or Black Earth. Unlike the surrounding soil, Terra Preta is rich, fertile, and remarkably long-lasting. Scientists believe it was engineered by ancient Amazonians who mixed charcoal, food scraps, broken pottery, and organic waste to create a self-sustaining soil. What's truly astonishing is that some patches of Terra Preta are still productive thousands of years later. Even modern farmers seek out these ancient soil deposits because they remain more fertile than the naturally occurring soil around them. But here's where things get even more fascinating. Terra Preta appears to regenerate over time. Unlike normal soil, which depletes with farming, Terra Preta seems to renew itself, likely due to unique microbial activity. It's almost like a natural compost system perfected by ancient civilizations, except it's been working for centuries without human intervention. If scientists can fully understand this process, it could revolutionize modern agriculture, especially in areas suffering from soil degradation. Even more remarkably, the sheer amount of Terra Preta found across the Amazon suggests that ancient civilizations were far larger and more advanced than previously believed. Instead of small, scattered groups, they may have supported highly organized agricultural societies using techniques that were centuries ahead of their time. This discovery challenges the long-held belief that the Amazon was always a wild, untouched rainforest. In reality, ancient civilizations transformed the land, creating a sustainable farming system that may still hold secrets capable of changing the future of agriculture. The Amazon has long been viewed as Earth's last untouched wilderness, a vast, natural paradise that existed long before humans arrived. But new evidence is completely reshaping that idea. The ancient inhabitants of the Amazon didn't just survive in the jungle, they may have helped create it. Many of the rainforest's most useful plants, including Brazil nuts, cacao, acai, and rubber trees, are found in unusually high concentrations near ancient settlements. What do you think? Could the Amazon itself be humanity's greatest forgotten masterpiece? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Scientists now believe that early Amazonians actively cultivated and managed these plants, selectively planting and tending to species that provided food medicine, and building materials. In some areas, this human influence was so widespread that as much as 20% of the modern Amazon may have been shaped by ancient land management. The engineering of the landscape didn't stop with plants. Archaeologists have uncovered evidence of raised fields, artificial canals, and even fish farms, sophisticated techniques that allowed ancient civilizations to control water levels, improve soil fertility, and produce enough food to sustain massive populations. These discoveries reveal a civilization that wasn't just surviving in the rainforest, but actively reshaping it to suit their needs. Even today, the effects of their environmental engineering can still be seen. But if humans had such a profound impact on the rainforest centuries ago, how much of the Amazon is truly untouched wilderness today? Certain regions of the Amazon remain unusually biodiverse, and researchers are beginning to realize that this may not be a coincidence. It may be the result of thousands of years of human cultivation. For a long time, Western scholars assumed the Amazon was too harsh for complex societies to thrive. But these discoveries challenge that idea entirely. Instead of an untouched paradise, the Amazon may actually be the largest human-modified ecosystem in the world, a living monument to the civilizations that once called it home. If the Amazon was once home to vast cities, advanced agriculture, and thriving civilizations, then what happened to them? Why did these societies vanish, leaving only traces beneath the jungle? The answer is a tragic combination of epidemics, conquest, warfare, and environmental changes. When the first Europeans arrived in the Amazon during the 16th century, they reported seeing large, organized settlements, bustling markets, and well-fed populations. Francisco de Orellana, the first European to navigate the Amazon River, described towns stretching for miles along the riverbanks. But when later expeditions returned, these civilizations were gone. What caused such a rapid collapse? The leading theory is disease. European explorers and traders unintentionally introduced smallpox, measles, and influenza, which spread through indigenous trade networks before direct contact even occurred. With no immunity to these foreign illnesses, Amazonian populations may have suffered a 90% mortality rate, causing entire societies to collapse almost overnight. Cities were abandoned, roads became overgrown, and earthworks disappeared beneath the jungle canopy. But disease wasn't the only factor. Survivors of epidemics faced violence and enslavement as European colonization intensified. Many indigenous groups were forced to flee deeper into the rainforest, abandoning their urban centers and fragmenting into smaller, mobile societies. Some researchers also suggest that environmental shifts, such as droughts or soil depletion, may have weakened certain regions before European arrival. For much of history, scholars assumed the Amazon had never supported large populations. But now we know the truth. The jungle didn't prevent civilization. The jungle grew over it after civilization was gone. And with every new discovery, we're uncovering the echoes of a world that was far more advanced than history ever acknowledged. The idea that the Amazon was once home to vast civilizations is rewriting history. The idea that the Amazon was too wild and inhospitable for complex societies was widely accepted for generations. But new discoveries are proving otherwise. The evidence hidden beneath the jungle tells a different story, one of engineered landscapes, sprawling cities, and advanced societies that thrived for thousands of years. Perhaps the most revolutionary aspect of these discoveries is how they challenge the old narrative of pre-Columbian America. History books have long focused on the Inca, Maya, and Aztec as the dominant civilizations of the Americas. But now, we know that the Amazon was just as advanced in its own way. These lost societies engineered their environment, built vast road networks, and supported millions of people using sophisticated agricultural techniques that rivaled those of the ancient world. But the implications go even further. These discoveries are changing how we see the Amazon itself. The rainforest may not be a purely natural ecosystem. It may have been carefully cultivated by its ancient inhabitants. The widespread planting of fruit-bearing trees, medicinal plants, and nutrient-rich crops suggests that early Amazonians played a direct role in shaping the biodiversity of the jungle. If true, this means that the Amazon, often considered one of Earth's last untouched wildernesses, is actually the largest human-modified ecosystem on the planet. As LiDAR and AI technology continue to uncover more lost cities, we are witnessing a historical revolution. The Amazon was not an empty land waiting to be discovered. It was home to civilizations that mastered survival in one of the most challenging environments on Earth. And as more secrets emerge, we must ask ourselves, what else have we overlooked in history? Perhaps history isn't just written in books, but hidden beneath the earth, waiting for technology and curiosity to uncover it. The Amazon rainforest has long been seen as a remote and untouched wilderness, but beneath its dense jungle lies the remains of thriving civilizations that flourished for thousands of years. From vast urban centers and intricate road networks to advanced agricultural systems and monumental earthworks, these discoveries are rewriting history and proving that the Amazon was once home to millions of people. But perhaps the most astonishing revelation is this: the Amazon itself may have been shaped by its ancient inhabitants. Many of the rainforest's most diverse plant species, including fruit-bearing trees and medicinal plants, may have been intentionally cultivated by humans. Even more incredible, some scientists now believe that as much as 20% of the Amazon may be the result of ancient land management. If true, this means the Amazon, long seen as Earth's last untouched wilderness, is actually the largest human-modified ecosystem in history. What was once dismissed as myth is now becoming clear. These civilizations didn't just live in the rainforest, they may have helped create it. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the hidden past of the Amazon. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to Armchair Archaeology for more incredible discoveries. What lost civilizations would you like us to explore next? Let us know in the comments. And until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep the flame of curiosity burning bright.